Hi, it's Dr. Jennifer Neff. Kim wants me to talk about sunscreen, and I kind of wanted to make a little follow-up to my vitamin D video because the issue of being in the sun, I really wanted to talk a bit more about that and give you a little bit more education on that. So I said 15 minutes of sun, or 10 to 15 minutes of sun with 40% of your body uncovered in full sun will give you 10,000 international units of vitamin D, which is fantastic. That is bueno. That's natural vitamin D, and that's something that your body will be able to use really well. But people would say, oh well, Dr. Neff, we like to spend more than 15 minutes in the sun, and I would completely agree. I live in Southern California, and so we have the opportunity to be in the sun, you know, year-round sometimes, and that's a great blessing. And it's also a challenge because more than 15 minutes in the sun, depending on the darkness of your skin and depending on, you know, your heritage or your racial heritage, you can spend more time in the sun if you have darker skin. But some people who are really light skinned or freckled, then they have a little bit more trouble and they'll burn faster. And so part of the reason why the Western medicine world has made everybody really scared about being in the sun is because when you get sunburned, then that increases your risk for cancer. Okay, and I'm not going to talk about cancer in this video, but the skin cancers, some of them you just cut them off and then you get on with your bad self, but some of them have the potential to spread, and that's a scary thing. So I've read studies that have said that your potential for skin cancer has everything to do with how many times you were burned before you were like 20 years old. And so, you know, grew up in the 80s and we used to hang out on the roof with Crisco, and you know, so I'm hoping that I can do other things with my diet to mitigate my cancer risk, keep my vitamin D levels high. But I want to talk about sunscreen. Now, what I'm delighted to share with you is that some of the natural oils, especially coconut oil, has got a 15 SPF of sunscreen, and so that'll allow you to be out in the sun, you know, probably 30 to 45 minutes without worrying about burning if you're really light skinned. But then you have to, again, either reapply or readdress the idea of what do I do. And there's a lot of sunscreens out there, and they'll say like 45 or 55 or 70. And there's a big debate as to whether or not that is even valid. Like over 30, you can read a lot of literature that says it just doesn't work. And what I would say is put on a hat, put on a shirt. The best way of you not getting burned is to either get yourself out of the sun or to cover up to the point where that the sun is not going to burn you, which is why, you know, sun cover-ups are available, and rash guards are available, and hats with big brims are available. And if that's not available, then what you should be looking for in a sunscreen is something that does not have the chemical oxybenzone. Okay, there are many other chemicals that I could talk about too, but that's one that's pretty commonly been used in sunscreens. And the thing that I don't like about the oxybenzone is it's an artificial estrogen. Now, when we're talking about hormone disrupting agents, that would count as a hormone disrupting agent. And when your hormones are off, then things are not working right in your body, and that increases your potential for having things go wrong. So I would encourage you to look for some of the more natural sunscreens, and they're really not that much more expensive than the regular ones. In fact, I hear that Hawaii is now banning certain chemicals in sunscreens, and I believe the oxybenzone is one of them. In which case, you go to Hawaii, then they're going to sell you the stuff that doesn't have the stuff that kills off the coral reefs. And if it's killing off coral reefs, then you don't want it on your skin anyway. So I really would like you to be very intentional about your sun exposure. And if you need to keep a hat or a shirt with long sleeves in your car, you know, some coconut oil containing sunscreen would be really great. And then you can enjoy the sun in safety and happiness. Take care.